Hi everybody, it's Joe Cioffi here on this Thursday, May the 10th, coming up on 15 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. We've got some strong thunderstorms that have been moving across Pennsylvania this evening and now have reached eastern Pennsylvania to about the New Jersey border. And they are also reaching peak intensity at this point, so I'm just going to kind of go right to it. And bear in mind that on this regional radar shot, there usually is a bit of a delay in terms of the positioning of the thunderstorms. They are actually a good 30 or 40 miles east of here and now approaching the western New Jersey line. And there are some strong thunderstorms embedded in this line. A few places have been getting some severe thunderstorm warnings being put up by the local National Weather Service offices. There's a stronger line that is moving through eastern Virginia and southeastern Virginia, and this is all part of a severe thunderstorm watch that is up at the moment. One of the things that's going to happen to the northern part of this line is that after 7 o'clock, as that line reaches, gets closer to the coastline, the marine layer is in. And in fact, many areas along the coast are seeing temperatures that are just in the upper 50s and low 60s with that cool south wind. These storms are not going to live for too much longer. As they get closer to that marine layer, they are going to start to fall apart. The ones down in southeastern Virginia and into interior North Carolina, you can see it here on the southern edge of the radar view, will probably survive a bit longer. But this is quite typical, of course, of the time of year with the cold ocean. And with respect to the wider radar view, because we do have some other thunderstorms out to the west that are a bit problematic, and I just want to bring those front and center. We are seeing the storms in the east. You can see it here, but we're also seeing some showers of thunderstorms starting to develop out in the west, in southeastern Wyoming and through parts of Nebraska, where we do have an elevated risk of severe weather to enhanced. A small area of enhanced risk has been indicated by the Storm Prediction Center. I'm trying to see, here we go. So I'll bring up the Storm Prediction Center's map. And we still have that slight risk in the east. You can see it here. The radar echoes behind it, approaching northwestern New Jersey. The northern part of this area was in slight risk into southern New York, up through the Hudson Valley, almost to I-90, but during today, the Storm Prediction Center actually pared that back. Here's the area that's out in the west over Nebraska, where we have much of the state in slight risk and a small area of enhanced risk, and the blue box indicative of a severe thunderstorm watch that has been posted. So kind of a somewhat busy night. I don't know how much in the way of actual severe thunderstorms we're going to see when this is all said and done. But nonetheless, we are seeing quite a bit of activity. Here's the visible satellite in the northeast, so we have a pretty good view of some of these storms. I actually love this this new GOES because you can see the layers of the clouds very, very well, and the strong cloud tops here. I'm sorry, the high cloud tops and the thunderstorms that are developing as they move into eastern Pennsylvania. Again, that marine layer from coastal New Jersey on eastward is in place. Temperatures are in the 50s and 60s. Now, these storms are going to fall apart. When they move into western New Jersey between now and 7 o'clock, they're going to hold on to their strength. And we have seen a ton of lightning strikes from these storms. But once we get that past, say, 7 or 7:30, and those storms start to move into eastern New Jersey and into coastal New Jersey, the Hudson Valley, I think we're going to see them weaken. And they may actually weaken rather quickly. So the marine layer this time of year is so formidable that if you don't have the right wind, and also we didn't have a whole lot of daytime heating going on today. We were stuck in a lot of clouds for a while, so it took a good portion of the day for much of New Jersey to get into the warm sector. I'm going to just make this a bit smaller. I want to take us through a few things here with regards to the weekend. In the meantime, I'm just going to leave up the we'll put up here on the bottom. Actually, I'll leave up the regional radar so we can have these, so you can see at least the storms on here. All right, so there we go. And I will stay right where I am, and we'll bring up, we'll take a look at where we're going this weekend. Again, the big problem with the weather this weekend is the fact that that northern jet is trying to press southward to bring another cold front through, and the southern jet, I'm sorry, the upper high to the south is pressing in the other direction. So that really kind of stalls the front out, and this is by Saturday morning. I actually think what will happen is there'll be a warm front that will set up Friday night, early Saturday morning, and some areas are going to get some showers and thunderstorms with that, and then there's going to be a bit of a break and another round of showers and thunderstorms Saturday evening as that front presses down from the north. And in this case, by the way, there won't be much of a marine influence, so these storms may actually hold together even for coastal areas. And you'll notice on Sunday that frontal boundary not that far away. I think it's going to at the very least keep my area, eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, in clouds, and there might even be a few passing showers or drizzle. Also, as we look down to the south over Florida, starting Saturday night, let me just back this up, because we are going to see some tropical moisture being drawn northward, so that's going to bring some increasing chances for rain in Florida and off the Florida coast on the Gulf side, and also on the Atlantic side. There actually might be a little weak low that could spin up in there, and that moisture is eventually going to move up into the eastern part of the United States as we go through next week. And you can see it here. I mean, it's not any kind of widespread rain, but it does afford an opportunity for some showers and thunderstorms, especially as we get into the mid and latter part of the week. And there is a big high that's going to be pressing southward later next week, and that may eventually get the northeast and parts of the mid-Atlantic into an onshore flow, while the high to the south, the Bermuda high, is going to be feeding in moisture into the southeast and Florida. Now, once again, we have seen models trying this GFS, trying to show, you know, some kind of tropical system. I'm going to bring it up, and I only bring it up because I've seen other people do it, and I just, once again, this to me is really, you got to prove it to me when we get here, when we get there. One of the things that I've noticed, for whatever reason why the model itself comes up with this sort of stuff, is that as we've gone through the last few days, it really hasn't progressed in time. In other words, it keeps showing up at around the 250, 200, starting at 252 hours, it's 264 hours, and it keeps staying every 6 hours. When a new run comes out, it keeps staying in that time frame. So it just keeps getting pushed back. It just keeps getting pushed back later and later in time. So that's why I can't really take it seriously. And in fact, if we look at another reason why I'm not going to take this too seriously, let me go to the 240 hour here, and I'm going to switch regions to the North Atlantic, to the Caribbean, so we can see it. So this is the GFS from earlier today, and you can see where the low starts out in the Southwest Caribbean. When we punch up the European, there's nothing there. When we punch up the Canadian, there's really nothing there. So, you know, if one of the other major models was showing something down there as well, you know, then I would at least have to think about it a bit more seriously. But you don't see it. What's, I think, more likely, if you look how the isobars are structured here, with the high that's out east of the east of the Carolinas, the Bermuda high, you have a fairly strong southeast flow here across the Caribbean, across Cuba, and on up over Florida. This is a good alleyway for moisture to move up into the eastern part of the United States. I think that's probably more likely to see. And in fact, if you look, there's a weakness here. There is a trough on the Canadian And if we look at the European, also, a weak, not as obvious a trough, but nonetheless troughing, and a bit of a weakness in the upper flow that would pull up moisture. And the GFS has got this, crazy developed surface low. But if you look at the upper air looks pretty much, oh, this is the new GFS. I'm sorry, let me just back up. Let me back up one run to make it even. 222, 28, 234, 240. So it has the same idea, the same weakness in the southeast and in the eastern Gulf of Mexico down into the northwest Caribbean. It keeps trying to make something out of something in the southwest Caribbean. And again, I really can't take it too seriously unless we start seeing some of the other models showing it. So front and center tonight, as far as the current weather is concerned, these thunderstorms that are moving through, I'm going to bring the radar back up and do a quick refresh here, just to just get it updated. And yeah, I mean, you see the red dots here. These are strong cells. They're one line that is moving across northeast. Whoops, I don't know, where'd that go? Oh, there we go. I was trying to bring that up to the top, and I failed. Let me try that again. Now we're having it. Okay, so there you can see the line of storms moving through northeastern Pennsylvania into western New Jersey and up further north and east. They kind of weaken a bit, although there are a couple of cells there that are holding together fairly well in the Catskills. And then you have this second line that's down in southeastern Virginia, central North Carolina. Also some strong storms, looks like, between Washington, D.C. and Baltimore, with the northern part of this trying to fire up a little bit. So this is our cold front that's moving on through. We are going to get it through here, and then weather conditions are going to improve quite nicely as we finish off the week, which is a good thing. So let me just come back to you guys. Say hi to everybody here that's on board tonight. James NASCAR, Alcina Alwazali, Delvin, Mystery Gamer, William Perez, Mystery Gamer watching us from York, PA, T-Bear. You dodged the storms most of the day in northeastern PA. Seems like a lot of hit or miss. Did manage to get to near 80 though. Yeah, you guys at least got into the warm sector for a little bit. Let's see. Mickey Petrovich, CMC showing something forming, but a different system. You can't count on it. Highly unlikely. As I said, Mickey, I'm not really going to get too worked up over anything the GFS does while it stands alone. I'm going to have to wait till if other models were showing it. And the other thing is too, you really are going against climatology. There have been only 22 storms in the month of May since 1851, and only 4 of them have become hurricanes. So you've got the GFS wrapping this thing up into a category 2. I mean, it goes so against climo for that to happen. That's why I can't really, again, I can't really take it too seriously at this point. And also, Ryan Ford, the other problem is that it keeps staying locked away in the same time frame. It's always 252 hours or more out, and every day it's still 11 days out every day. And this started out 5 days ago, or even longer, that it started to show hints of this. So it's not as if it's kind of figured out a time frame for something to develop and then stays in that time frame as we get closer to it. It keeps pushing it back, pushing it back, pushing it back. So again, not taking it seriously. And most of the time when it does do that, it is going to be incorrect. We know that from just what we saw. We see every hurricane season, just like we see with snowstorms in the wintertime, when the models like to put out snowstorms between day 10 and day 16, and the next run they're gone, and then 2 runs later they're back, or they're back in a different place. It's not even worth the time speculating over that sort of stuff. All right, folks, kind of busy here tonight with the severe weather going on in my neck of the woods. I just want to make sure that now it looks like a number of severe thunderstorm warnings have been posted now for a good chunk of eastern Pennsylvania, northeastern Pennsylvania, in and around the Scranton area, and also between Reading and Harrisburg and southeastern PA. South of Lancaster, we've got some warnings up as well, going up into northeastern Maryland. So the cells are moving eastward. They are at peak intensity now, and then within an hour or so, they should start to weaken as they continue to the east. The Joe Rayo, Joe Cioffi Show tonight on Facebook, on my Facebook page, meteorologist Joe Cioffi at 9:15 Eastern Time. So do join us, and just want to say very quickly, I have a relationship with Amazon, and as the affiliate marketing relationship. There's a link on the descriptor to this video. If you shop Amazon and use that link, Amazon provides me a way to earn some fees from them for you shopping, and it's a good way to support my channel because it doesn't cost you a dime, and you're going to buy stuff anyway. So if you want to use the link, use the link. If you don't, you don't. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate it, and we will see you tomorrow.